UK will officially have a new Prime Minister from tomorrow, once Queen Elizabeth II appoints Liz Truss to the job from Balmoral, her castle in Scotland, as opposed to Buckingham Palace for the first time in 70 years. But already, attention is well and truly fixed on what a Liz Truss premiership will actually look like. And to unpack that, I'm joined now by Tig Enright, reporting from London. Tig, it is now official, of course, the members of the Conservative Party have chosen Liz Truss as their leader, and she'll become the next British Prime Minister. But more broadly, how is that news being received there in the UK?
Well, I think no matter what your politics, most people here are glad that the drama of the leadership campaign is over, not least within the ruling Conservative Party, because you've seen these two leading contenders criticising each other severely in recent weeks, and recent decisions taken by governments, administrations, cabinets in which they were involved. It's taken us 8 weeks to get here, with those candidates appealing to really a very narrow group of voters, those members, paid-up members of the Conservative Party, at a time of historic crisis, with the cost of living, of course, dominating the minds of most voters here. This campaign was talking about all sorts of social issues to appeal to that narrow body of voters.
I mean, we have watched this unfold, as you say, for 2 months. And at the end of the day, many people are just really worried about the energy crisis and the cost of living crisis. Are we any clearer as to knowing how Liz Truss will get to grips with those two huge issues?
Maybe a little. You're right, it wasn't discussed in detail during the campaign, even though it is the clearest and most present danger to the general public, and indeed to the future electability of Liz Truss as Prime Minister. But in the past few days, there have been newspaper reports that she is considering a freeze on energy bills, and that could become one of her biggest initial policy announcements. That will, of course, be welcome at a time when many people aren't quite sure where their energy bills are going to end up this winter. But we don't know the shape of it yet. We do expect that to be confirmed in the next few days. But first, she has to actually take office, meet the Queen, become Prime Minister, and pick her new cabinet.
So we have to go through all of those hurdles first. And as you say, some media reports talking about that potential freeze. But let's just say that these policies don't work. We know that she's inheriting a very difficult time. What could that say about Liz Truss's longevity as British Prime Minister?
Well, you know, Helena, what's really remarkable here is that there are already murmurs of discontent and talk of potentially a leadership challenge before she even becomes Prime Minister. Not least because her predecessor, Boris Johnson, is thought to be interested in making a political comeback. It's been talked about a lot in newspapers, and crucially, it's not something that he has denied. Because I think many backbench Conservatives are coming to terms with the fact that they risk changing one unpopular leader for another. She's not popular with the general public, and even within the Conservative Party, Liz Truss does not command widespread support. At the final stage of when MPs got to vote to pick the next leader, she got just a third of MPs. And we learned today that the result among the members of the party who picked her, that the result was much closer than we were expecting. Only 50% of Conservative Party members actually picked Liz Truss. And we are in this incredible situation that some people are actually writing her off before she's even started in the job. But what she does have now is the opportunity to prove her doubters wrong.